Hey y'all, it's Turquoise and welcome back to my channel where today we are doing a special build video because we are finally building a new house for my Black Widow challenge. So for those of you who have seen the challenge so far, my sim, Sophia Love, married Jacques Villarreal. She died at their wedding. So I had Hugo make Ambrosia to bring her back, so she's back, right? And we are of course living with the Villarreal family. And so my idea is with the family, Jacques is gonna go bye-bye because it's the Black Widow challenge, so he has to go bye-bye. Hugo is absolutely gonna hate Sophia, right? But Luna and Max absolutely love her. I found out you could adopt your stepchildren because I realized Sophia could adopt Max. I was just sad she couldn't also adopt Luna. I was really hoping she could. I thought that would be cute, like she adopts those two, but not Hugo. But anyway, so we married Jacques, so we have his money. But the real reason I married Jacques was because of the land. Like, the Villarreal house is on such a big lot in Windenburg that I never really even play on. So I figured, you know what? He'll be the perfect first victim for my Black Widow. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of like this house. I couldn't really figure out the best way to go about kind of building it because I want it to be kind of modern, because I feel like my sim likes more modern kind of styles. And so the house looks good. I will admit it can be better, but hey, I don't claim to be an amazing builder. I do not claim to be an amazing builder by any standard. If I start calling myself an amazing builder, I will seriously need to calm down, okay? But I am kind of proud of how this house turned out. It's very black and dark because, you know, Black Widow challenge, of course. And upstairs, I gave Sophia a room, pretty big room. Max and Luna each have their own rooms upstairs. Downstairs, kind of just off from like the kitchen area, if I'm remembering right, I gave Hugo a kind of room, but it's kind of more like a broom closet kind of room. Like, it's definitely where you would put like a butler, but I don't have like vintage glamour, so I don't have butlers. But while he's staying in the house, Hugo is going to be like my butler, right? He's going to do all the cooking. He's going to do the cleaning. He's going to do a lot of the stuff just because I don't really care for Hugo too much. I don't. And I don't know if I will have him eat the same meat like fate as his father, or if I'll just move him out when I'm tired of him. But something I want to do, and this idea literally came to me right before I start recording like this voiceover. I can have Hugo get up the robotics skill and build a servo, and that servo can be like our butler. And I'm like, that's genius. And so I think I'm gonna go with that. Eventually I'll move Hugo out after he builds a servo, and then we'll have a servo as kind of our butler, maid, whatever. And I just have so many like ideas for the challenge. Okay, you guys are probably seeing me struggle right here. It took me a while to figure out how to do this. I could not figure out how in the world I was supposed to do this so that way like it could be open, right? Because like I see people all the time build it where like the stairs going up kind of have like an opening down to the bottom where you can kind of look over. And anytime I've tried to do it, it hasn't worked. So I will admit, I tested this. As soon as I finished recording like this build, I tested to make sure my Sims could go up the stairs. And I am so happy. I am so happy. Okay? I will admit, this build I did before I got some newer packs. Like the comfy gamer kit, right? Which I would have absolutely like decked out Luna's room completely with it if I had it. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't have it when I built this house. Pretty sure. We'll see. But yeah, some features I definitely wanted to add. I wanted to make sure the house had a pool, right? There's a sauna upstairs. There's going to be a hot tub. I even have, and I thought this would kind of be funny, I wanted to put kind of like a graveyard kind of thing on the lot to, you know, keep the headstones of Sophia's late spouses. So I added one of the crypts from Life and Death, like in the backyard, kind of hidden away with like a wishing well in front of it, you know, kind of hidden so that way, you know, you have everything else around it and it takes your eyes away from the crypt, right? Because we don't need the whole town knowing what Sophia's doing. We don't need that. We don't need that kind of publicity. There we go. I can speak English. But yeah, it took me, I think, 3 hours to finish this build. 3 hours. I separated that into like 3 1-hour sit-down sessions to build this house. Of course, we're not going to sit here for 3 hours and watch it. Absolutely not. I sped this up like crazy. So that way it's less than 30 minutes. I don't even think I'll talk for the entire 30 minutes because I don't think I can. But we'll see. But yeah, I just had a lot of fun building this house. I really wanted to like embrace the whole idea of a Black Widow. And when you think of a Black Widow, you think of darkness. You think maybe a little bit classy, a little bit modern. Like, this is what I wanted to embrace in this build, and I absolutely love it. I think I gave Sophia kind of an office. I definitely gave her her own balcony. That's what that is right there. That is her balcony, which I love. And then it took me a while going through like wood swatches to figure out what swatch I wanted for the back deck. Okay. But like, this is definitely the kind of like mansion I would expect a Black Widow sim to have. But I will say this house is going to be a work in progress until we literally marry our final spouse and get their money, right? This house is always going to be a work in progress. I'm constantly going to be updating it and everything just to keep adding stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I want to add undead cow plants. I want to add, what else do I want to add? I know I want to add undead cow plants, but just other things. Like, I kind of want to make it, I want to add like a lot of death traps, kind of, because I think it would be fun, right? And like, it'll go with my idea of getting rid of each of the spouses in a different way. Like, we're married to Jacques, and I already think I'm going to probably do the death by woohoo with him because he's an elder. And honestly, that's one of the easiest ways to get rid of elders in The Sims 4 is death by woohoo. I know this, I want to marry Judith Ward and I want to throw her in the shark pond. So I have to get a shark pond at some point. Pufferfish Nagiri for someone, right? What else can we do? Sauna death. Probably just freezing or overheating. Probably freezing because we're in Windenburg and it's always like snowing and everything. So that could be one. I want to use the telescope death at some point, but I have a very specific sim in mind for that one. And that one's gonna, that death is actually gonna lead to like a kind of later storyline plot that I kind of want to do. For the fun of it. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm planning like for the series. Like, I already have an idea of what spouses I want her to have. I have an idea of how they're going to, you know, go bye-bye. But we'll just have to see. Maybe my game will just decide, you know what, I'm gonna glitch out and the Sim's not gonna die. Like, who knows? Like, I was literally playing my current household, I think it was this past weekend, and one of my Sims was eaten by a cow plant. This guy ate the cake of one cow plant, went and ate the cake of another cow plant, because I had 2 undead cow plants in my yard, because why not? And my game glitched. The Grim Reaper was just standing there. I got the notification that the Sim was dying, but the Grim Reaper just stood there, and I never got, like a headstone for the Sim. I was very upset about that too, because it was an alien. I wanted the alien headstone. But anyway, that's a whole different save which you guys can catch up on if you watch my current household videos, which are interesting. Those are the Sims I play off camera, and I absolutely love them. And I also just love this household too. But here I am kind of building the kitchen, and I wanted it to be a super fancy kitchen, so I made sure to use the like life and death counters. What made me so upset though is there's not a good one to go right there to like connect it around that area. And I was like so upset I couldn't put something there. I think I ended up putting pet bowls because I do think we'll get a black cat in this household at some point. Most likely. Because I just feel like Sophia's a black cat kind of gal. Sorry. But anyway, here I was doing the kitchen. That was actually the start. I think the kitchen was either the start or the end of one of the building sessions. Because I like finished the kitchen and I was just like, wow. I love this kitchen. It's so cute. I will say this, after the 25th anniversary like SDS drop we got, I want to go through and replace this tile with the new floor tile we got because I absolutely love it. And I also want to add carpet to some of the rooms. Maybe Max's room, which is upstairs. Like, I was working on those rooms earlier. You could tell which one was Luna's and which one was Max's. I gave them like the best beds I could because I feel like Sophia would absolutely spoil both of them. Like, but yeah. So that's what I want to talk about, the save and the build. What else can I talk about? I guess I could talk about reading. I recently finished reading Wildfire by Hannah Grace. So at the beginning of the year, I like kind of did a little wheel spin to decide what book I was going to read at the start of the year, and I spun Daydream. And the great thing about Hannah Grace's books is, despite the three of them being in a series and kind of like being in order, you can actually read them as standalones in whatever order you want, because really the events of one book doesn't directly affect the events of the other. It's just like some characters reappear and everything like that. But so I started reading Daydream, and then I decided, well, for February, let's do Wildfire because it's pink. It's kind of like keeping to that idea of reading one of the Hannah Grace books at the beginning of the month, so which means March I'll read Icebreaker, which is actually the first book. I'm literally reading them in reverse order, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. It was definitely a 5-star read. What I really loved though was the epilogue. After reading like a Daydream, I had like some questions when it came to the epilogue with some stuff like that was like brought up, and I really don't want to spoil it, but it kind of made me wonder if did she already have the plan for book 3 when she finished the epilogue for book 2? Because I'm like, it just feels like she did, and if she didn't, I'm like, wow. But yeah, so I'm doing that, and then I have some other books I want to read. I literally made like a little board game kind of thing to determine what books I read based on different prompts, because I want to read 100 books by the end of the year. I don't think I've ever read 100 books in a year, and so I kind of want to give it a shot, right? And apparently I did have the kits when I built this house. I couldn't remember if I did or not. But yeah, I added some things we already had in our household inventory into here. Just, you know, make the house kind of look really nice, and like I wanted to give it a lived-in look, but like also in my mind, a rich person's like mansion doesn't look lived in for some reason, because it's always just so clean, right? But that's kind of what I did with that open book from the Comfy Gamer kit. Like, that open book is just like, oh, somebody was sitting here reading and then they had to go get up and do something. So yeah, but of course I had to add a piano. Always gotta add a piano. Definitely use the cheat to get the better piano. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop talking here because I'm eventually just going to start rambling, and I don't really care too much for rambling. So you guys can enjoy watching the rest of this build. I really like this house. I really enjoy this house. It's closer to the end when I start fixing kind of the crypt area, right? But yeah, leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video, and go ahead and subscribe so you never miss one of my uploads. I upload my Black Widow challenge every Monday. So if you want to watch some of that, you know when to check it out. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody.